Hey, how's it going? Today is a big day for us. We are making 12 freezer meals, and we're going to make multiple of each, so like 24 at least freezer meals. It's going to be a busy day. So my kitchen, as you can see, is a little on the small side. For this size of a house, it's ridiculously small. So anywho, we're going to be a little cramped in the beginning trying to make this work, but then as things get done and moved out of the way, it'll go smoother. So I'm just peeling some potatoes, and we're going to get them boiling because they'll take the longest. We are going to make mashed potatoes. So I'm going to do that, but let me tell you what we're doing first. So we're going to do sweet, sticky, spicy chicken, which is one of my favorites, and I'll put the recipe in the description. It's from All Recipes, and I always add a lot more brown sugar than the recipe calls for, which you will see. And we're going to do 2 of those with a side of rice, and those will both freeze fine together. And lasagna, we're going to do 2 lasagnas, a shepherd's pie, 1 beef, 1 chicken, 1 turkey. Enchiladas, just 1 enchilada actually, 1 dish, 9 by 13, 1 9 by 13 of stuffed peppers, 2 dishes of meatballs, and then a whole bunch of taco meat. The taco meat will go in the enchiladas and in the stuffed peppers. And then I bought cilantro and onion and tortillas, so we'll have tacos for dinner tonight probably with the leftover meat. Korean beef bowl. We will use some cubed beef that I had in the freezer. Meatloaf. So the meatloaf and meatballs will start out the same, and then I'll form loaves and balls with the meat mixture. Both have breadcrumbs, both are going to have eggs, salt, Worcestershire. So one thing that makes this whole process easier is when you have similar, whatever meals you decide to make, they have similar ways of preparing them or similar ingredients. That way you can do more, whenever you're doing one thing, you're also doing multiple things for each dish. I don't know if I explained that well. Anywho, so like if you're chopping peppers for all the meals, or onions, or if you're cooking chicken, you're cooking a whole bunch of chicken for different ways of making it for different meals, that sort of thing. So the meatballs and meatloaf, for example, is a way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to make some pesto that we'll put over pasta later. The pesto freezes well, and then whenever I want to, I'll just take a jar out and let it thaw, or microwave it to heat it up, whatever, and cook the pasta, dump it on top, mix it in, and it's amazing. Fajita meat, chicken fajita meat, so we can make fajitas later. I don't think the fajitas would freeze well, so I'm just going to make the meat and put that in the freezer. I forgot to look up the correct name, like taco wontons. I don't think that's right. I forgot to get them out. So I saw it on TikTok. Yeah, wonton wrappers, that's right. So you'll see what we do with these. And they looked really good. So the taco meat will also go for that. And then we're going to cook rice and store it. It freezes and thaws fine. And then we're going to do mashed potatoes to go with the meatballs. And mashed potato will freeze fine as long as whenever you're reheating it, you get it really, really hot and stir, and then it'll go back to normal. So that's the plan for today, is all that. So the potatoes take the longest, and I'm going to get these peeled. If they're green, I'm going to peel them really, really well. And if they're not green, then I might not fully peel them because 9 pounds of potatoes in the sink, and I hate peeling potatoes. So we'll just see how it goes and move on to the next step. Oh yeah, and I was going to tell you, I got all the vegetables out too, and somewhat prepped, except for the onions. These are just things that I had in my freezer, and we're going to use them up today, and make room for the new stuff for this year's garden and get rid of the stuff from last year's. And then all my dishes are back here: casserole dishes, storage containers, everything. I put a sticky note in there to tell me what I'm going to put in there. That way, I had to plan ahead because I have only so many casserole dishes and so many storage containers, and I didn't want to just willy-nilly start putting stuff in whatever container and then get down to the last few meals and not have what I needed. That would be very annoying. So everything's labeled. Pesto's gonna go in these jars. Oh, sorry. Pesto's gonna go in these jars. And I have prepared mentally and physically. I got water boiling for the potatoes here with some salt in it. This is ground beef. I need to go ahead and turn on actually. So we're gonna cook the ground beef just plain, drain the grease, and then add salt and maybe something else. I've got the recipe on the table here. And then broth and flour to turn it to kind of gravy-like for the shepherd's pie, the one that's gonna be beef. And before we do that though, we'll take the meat out and add it to some pasta sauce that I need to get a pan out for that I forgot. And dump the pasta sauce in, add in the cooked meat, and make a big batch of spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, pizza sauce, whatever you want to call it. When you buy jars of sauce at the store, it's just the sauce. So having some in the freezer that's already got the meat in it is like taking one step away. So it's not making a full freezer meal, but it is kind of a meal prep sort of thing. So I'm going to dump a bunch of sauce. I have some homemade sauce from last year's tomatoes and some ragu that I bought from the store. Dump it all in the pot with a bunch of meat and use what I need for the lasagna today and then freeze the rest in some jars. And I'll reuse the containers that the ragu came in as well. And that's the plan. I got my knives here and sharpened. I think they're sharpened. I hope I sharpened them well. And then I have these cutting boards because I'll cut some meat and I want to wash it, and some for meat, some for vegetables. So I got 4 of those out. And I think that's it. So I'm going to get back to these potatoes. I'm going to cut them in smaller pieces, rinse them off while the water's boiling, and then put them in there and let them boil for, I don't know, half hour till they're tender with the fork. And then we'll make us some smashed taters. Oh, look, yeah, I sharpened this knife good. Yeah, that's a good cut. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yeah, I'm cutting on a rag. I'm just peeling and cutting all on this kitchen towel, and then when all the peelings are done, I can easily just pull the corners up and grab it and go dump all the peelings into the compost outside, instead of making a pile on the cutting board and taking the glass cutting board out there. And I'm not cutting super hard to where I'm going to damage this or the towel. And that seems to be the easier way to get rid of the peels. And then down here on the floor, you probably can't see, I got my trash can open, and I got a little container for compost for the smaller things. I don't know what there will be that needs to be composted, but if there is, like onion peels, I'll put them in there and I'll dump them in the compost when we're done. Oh. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Scrub a dub dub, a million taters in the tub. And bloop. 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 All right, I need 2 hands. This is going to take forever. Oh no, I'm going to run out of room. Okay, we'll just do 2 batches. We'll cook those ones after those ones are done. Stir, stir, stir. So this back here is cubed steak. It looks just like ground beef. And it's getting browned. Ooh, let me show you real quick. Okay. See the browning bits? That's what we're aiming for. They're not burnt, they're browned. Best flavor right there. So I'm gonna stir it up, put it back on the stove and let more get browned, and then this will be done. To the compost. Tater tot. Love you. Don't hit the camera. Today is the perfect day. It's only going to be a high of 70. Oh, it feels so good out here. I gotta do something about all that growth. Back to the kitchen. Okay, making great progress. The cube steak is browned. Ground beef is on its way there. Hear that? That's the sound of browning meat. And I am successfully burning water all over the stovetop. Now, wipe all that off. We gotta cut this chicken up into cubes, small pieces, whatever you want to call it. Because we are going to brown them on the stove, shred them, and then use them in several of the recipes. Oh, no wonder I turned off the wrong burner. That's why the cube steak is still cooking and almost burning. That's all right. It's just extra browned. Yum. All right, I'm going to cut the chicken up and then put it back in the bowl. Browned meat, yay. Almost done with this. This is the first batch of ground beef. Okay, this is for the chicken. This is for the pescetti sauce. Time to rinse it out. Oh, I gotta strain the fat off the meat. I'm gonna try this cube steak. Okay. Tastes steaky. Looks like ground beef. Okay. That tastes different. Well, a little bit. I'm just gonna mix them all together. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna heat up the pan. Still has water in it. There, now it doesn't. We're gonna get this chicken started. We got a lot of chicken recipes to do, so this is a lot of chicken. Maybe a little too much, but really not for the amount of meals that we're making. So we gotta get them browned, then cooled, then shredded. All these recipes are gonna take shredded chicken. And I'm gonna see if the food processor will shred them. You know, doing that with your fingers is a pain in the butt for all this. So we'll see. We'll see. Get this hot. Get some avocado oil. Gotta drain the meat. See what I mean about I'm kind of struggling for space here? I gotta get that meat over there and drained, but there's still potatoes in the sink. These potatoes aren't quite fork tender yet. Can't be efficient in a small space when I'm trying to juggle everything. All right, time to go potato fishing with the harpoon. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think these are, some of them are almost soft enough. Close. I like them a little softer. So these are almost done. Yay. All right, gotta hurry. I hear the oil sizzling. Don't want it to start burning. I cut off all those fat pieces and then I threw them in the pan. Seriously? Whoopsies. I'll cook them up later for the dogs, but right now I'm just trying to get the chicken for our meals done. Alright, got a few fat pieces to dig out there. I'll get some tongs and dig that out, but I'm trying to get all of these pieces touching the bottom of the pan so they can get browned. I think that's good. Dig out that and that. Alright, I think the potatoes are done and ready to be strained. And then the next batch to be boiled. Hot steam. Okay. I make my mashed potatoes in the KitchenAid stand mixer. It's so easy this way. Ow, hot. We're gonna do some heavy cream and some butter and garlic and salt and pepper. And put on the stand mixer. Ooh, wrong way. All right, switching gears real quick. The potatoes can wait. Let's see. Let's find a good. Okay, getting browned. Could be a little browner too, but that's also fine. We'll let them sit just a few more minutes while we finish up the potatoes. Back to the potatoes. We're going to add a little bit more liquid. Try again. We got salt, pepper, butter, garlic, heavy whipping cream. Okay, I like that consistency. That's good. I don't think it's going to get it all incorporated very well. Maybe a little more liquid will help with that. All right, let's flip the chicken. Chicken is brown on both sides for the first batch. That has been divided between the pasta sauce and the whatever else we're making, shepherd's pie, and it has been drained. Round 2 of potatoes are boiling, and time to taste the mashed potatoes. round one of mashed potatoes anyways. Okay, ready? Take a bite. Just kidding. Oh, that's so good. All right, looking for the mashed potato containers. I got this one and this one. Okay. There's more around here somewhere, but we're gonna fill these two up with first batch. That way we can make room for the second batch of mashed potatoes. Oh my goodness, that garlic, butter, okay, salt, pepper, butter, heavy cream, and garlic. And the butter and the garlic, yes, oh my goodness. You don't have to cook the garlic because the heat from the potatoes, when it's all mixing, it's hot enough to make the garlic flavor come out, or fragrant, or whatever the recipes call it. So that garlic comes right on out. And these are amazing. I just eyeballed the salt and it turned out to be perfect. So yay, I love it when those perfect moments happen. Chicken's brown and maybe burning. So let's get to that now. All right, got another 5 rounds to go. So add some more oil, put that in here and let it brown. And that's where the pasta sauce is going to be. So, and I have no idea. I didn't measure the meat. I know we started with 6 pounds in that container, but then with all that fat cooking out, I don't know how much we end up with, and I don't know how much I divided it. When I'm having all these things to juggle at one time, I can't stop and weigh stuff. So everything is eyeballed. Okay, cool. Looks like I chopped up enough for 2 panfuls, just about. So we'll let those sizzle away. Let's start adding the pasta sauce into this big pot. Like I said before, it's going to be some that I already made, some from ragu, all in one. When there's stove space, then we'll heat it up, but that's not priority right now. So yeah, I save all my jars. Mason jar, obviously. This came in a gift box container. Salsa. When you're freezing, doesn't matter what you use, as long as you leave headspace so there's space for it to expand. I got one more container in the fridge of ragu. So all this sauce here does not have meat in it. That's why I thawed it all out or bought some, because we are going to make it meaty and then freeze it. I think I said that earlier. Kind of like a meal prep sort of thing, so we don't have to worry about cooking meat later whenever we want some pasta sauce. It'll already be done. Putting a little bit of water in these containers. Just the ragu ones, just to get that last little bit of sauce out. I'm going to get more chicken prepared. I think I got a little bowl for the fat pieces. And see how brown these are. Give them a few more minutes. I mean, they're fine, but they could be browner. Know what I mean? Getting so hot in here, my hair's starting to curl. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got another batch of chicken ready to be tossed in the pan. I'm gonna flip all these real quick. Okay, finally done. All the chicken has been browned. It's a little bit more over here that I went ahead and shredded by hand because I didn't have this out yet. The ground beef for the Korean bowl, whatever it's called, and taco meat has been cooked up. We still have the raw meat over here for the meatloaf and the meatballs. Next we need is a bunch of onions chopped up. So got out my food processor and gonna rough chop these and put them in there. I got some leeks from last year's garden. Put in here as well. They're already chopped up. I'm not going to scrape all of them out. This is compost. I'll just put it down there next to the compost container. I put too much in. Okay, this is for adding to whatever we're cooking, and then I'm going to do 2 for eating fresh with the tacos. Yeah, 2 should be good because we're probably going to have enough tacos for leftovers. So yeah, let me just do 2 more, and then we'll see if the chicken works in here next. I hope so, because pulling this apart by hand it's going to take forever. Yay! Diced up perfectly. All right, let's see what happens with this chicken. Dude, yeah. I mean, it's not shredded, but okay, I'll do a little less next time. This can go in the fajitas. Okay, yeah, we'll let this be fajita meat. And then the other chicken thing was sweet, sticky, spicy chicken. There might have been one more. Shredded would be more ideal than chopped, some chunks in there, but it's going to be good enough. I do not want to pick everything apart by hand. We're going to start on the sweet, sticky, spicy sauce in this pan here and let it warm up while we make the rest of the chicken to toss in here. And then we have to start some rice too, actually. Let me get the slow cooker down from the top of the fridge. Hola! Where to put it? Here. All right, for the sweet, sticky, spicy chicken, we need soy sauce, but I prefer liquid aminos. Tastes better for you. Honey, hot sauce. The hot sauce we're going to use is just what I have some Tabasco in the fridge, so that's what we're going to use. Brown sugar, ginger, garlic, chicken, salt, pepper, and oil. And so heat up the sauce in the pan and add the chicken is what I'm going to do. And I add much more brown sugar, like I said before, than 1 tablespoon. It needs a lot more. So we'll get all that added to the pan now. Ginger that I preserved in the freezer, it's actually ginger stalks from the ginger I grew last year. Take some of that out. Hot sauce. Finish off the bottle. Liquid aminos. Brown sugar. Oh, I need to make the hole bigger. Garlic. Honey. And stir. Y'all see this mess from all the meat I've cooked? Oh my goodness. That's gonna be a pain to clean. All right, the brown sugar will dissolve as it gets warmer, and we'll just let it sit there and heat up. And we're gonna get back to the chicken and get more of it ready. All right, it's starting to sizzle over here. It'll do that quick. We don't want to burn it, so let's get the chicken added. All right, there's enough sauce there to do one more batch of chicken. All right, got that stirred in. I could probably add even more chicken, actually. All right, taste test. That's so good. Yep. Wow. I'm gonna add some more chicken too, because there's still quite a bit of sauce at the bottom there. All right, so everything that I'm making, when it's done, has to go to the table and out of the way here. That was so freaking good, dude. Like, video over, I'm done. I'm gonna go eat all that. So good. But we're gonna finish up with this chicken. I didn't eat breakfast or lunch, so it's now 3:14 and I had a couple bites of the mashed potatoes earlier. So yeah, that chicken hitting the spot. Doesn't help that I'm hungry. All right, we got these 2 bowls for the fajita meat. We're not gonna cook them up yet. I think we need to move on to the 3 shepherd's pie. So I think I'm done with the food processor. So let me get this out of the way. Get the rice cooking. We're gonna do 4 cups of rice because we have many, many meals to pair it with and freeze it. So 4 should be enough. Might not even be enough, really. We'll see. I don't know. Why? Okay, hope all the paper's off. Water, butter, salt, and pepper. Boom. Okay, I think we need to seal it. And then there's a rice button. And let it do its thing. Let's see, what's next? Oh yeah, shepherd's pie. All right, on our filthy stove, we are going to heat up turkey. This is turkey from Thanksgiving I already had cooked up and frozen. It's thawed now. We're going to heat it up. We're going to heat that chicken back up that I pulled apart with my fingers earlier off camera while I was waiting for the rest of the meat to cook. Some plain taco meat. We're going to do them all the same way, which is whatever the recipe says. Add the onions. Add the meat. So we'll just add onion now. Oh no, I don't want to add onion to the turkey. Not all of that turkey is going in there. The turkey's for two different things, actually. Rosemary, thyme, salt, and pepper. Woo. I don't want it to start burning, so I need to get some of the broth in there now. Ah. Need some Worcestershire. Add that to the turkey once I separate it. Garlic. 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 So a little bit to the turkey. All right, now we need to add flour to turn it into a gravy, a thick gravy with the meat inside. Oops, I made a mess. Just gonna mix that up and whisk it. And then add the broth. Okay, this might seem a little crazy, but I'm going to do the shepherd's pie in the opposite direction. You're supposed to do the meat filling vegetables, potato on top, but I'm going to do potato on bottom and then the vegetables and then the meat mixture on top. The meat mixture is gravy and all that, so I think it'll be nice if it all soaks down into the potatoes as well. So I'm going to do it that way, and it'll be easier right now because the mashed potatoes are done and the meat's not. So I can get this part assembled while the meat finishes up. Okay, so we're gonna do peas, carrots, and celery. Well, I want to use all these carrots. Hopefully it's not too much whenever we're eating it. That is so much carrot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Celery. This is from last year's garden. Well, I was hoping to use it all, but I'll just stick it back in the freezer. Rice is done, hopefully. I don't know if I did it right, but there's a rice button here, so I don't know. Go. Oh man, that recipe said put Parmesan on the potatoes. I was totally going to do that. Okay, let's add the meat. So this one's turkey. It's a gravy. I mean, this chicken, sorry, chicken. Yum. Chicken's done. That's amazing. Still have that much left over. Oops, that's enough for a whole nother one. And then we can't do the turkey one yet because I have to pick all the bones out. Not going to throw anybody under the bus, but somebody who was pulling the turkey apart didn't get all the bones out. All right, meatloaf and meatball time. So meatloaf and meatballs are both going to have onion. Some eggs. Oh, I should have opened the breadcrumb bag up first. Ah, darn it. Yeah. Didn't need to put gloves on yet. Should have done the eggs last. Worcestershire. Oh yes, the garlic, of course. The meatballs are supposed to have Parmesan cheese, but I won't put that in the meatloaf. I think this is all we're putting in it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit of A1 in it to give it some tang. Oh, okay. Whoops. That's enough. Yeah.
You want to stop?
It's going to be a while before you need to stop.
Let me just untwist it.
Might as well.
Oh, you can't.
You can. Just got to put.
On.
It's got to put a bunch of effort into it.
Oh, no effort. Oh, it smells weird.
Don't dump the whole thing, but I think this is so much meat. We're going to need more than that. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. We might need even more.
Oh, it was weird. What is this?
Meatloaf and meatballs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Or mix it up and see.
Well, it's hard to tell by looking at it, and it's raw, so we can't taste it. Oops. This will be 1 meatloaf. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good size for a loaf pan, you think? More. Hey, Evan, would you like to assist us again?
Huh?
We need some rosemary and thyme. Right. Yep, these 2 jars here. If you could add them to this container.
Fine, barely.
Yeah, that'll work.
Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Fresh rosemary.
All right, that's good. That came out a little faster. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I want the rosemary and thyme in the meatloaf, but not the meatballs. So it'll make the meatloaf a little more savory. And I want the meat balls to not be savory. Just they're gonna have a sweet, like brown sugar sauce on top. I hope that's mixed in. Should have got a bigger bowl. Oh well. Oh. Okay. Think that's good? Let's see how it fits in the loaf pan. That's perfect. Hey. Nailed it. All right, one more. Perfect again. Yay. This is going to be covered with foil and go in the deep freezer. Everything's going to be baked with foil on it, so I might as well put the foil on it now. And so I need to get the paper out of the way. Okay. Just pushing it to where it forms against the edges of the pan. And then it bakes like this, and then you create your sauce to put on top. And then before it's done, you take it out, add the sauce, and then you put it back in to finish up for 10 minutes or so. And some people do just plain old ketchup. I like to do kind of a sweet sauce on top, like a barbecue brown sugar ketchup kind of mixture and some honey, and put that on top. I think that tastes a lot better than ketchup. So we're not going to make the sauce today because these are going straight to the freezer. But I'm gonna get it moved over to the table, and then we will start forming the meatballs. All right, get the Parmesan cheese mixed in. Oops. Okay. Okay, I'm going to preheat the oven to, it doesn't say, I'll do 400. Oh, you're supposed to heat it like cookies in a frying pan. Why would I stand over the stove forever to do that? Not doing that. Baking them in the oven. I already did that for the chicken today. This is my second meatball dish, so I'll just go ahead And like I was going to cook them all in one. I didn't know how many I was really going to make. And then transfer some to this for 2 different meals, like a larger meal and a smaller meal, since these are 2 different size dishes. This one's on the small side, this one's on the large side. Try to make them all about the same size. They're going to shrink. I know they are, just like burgers do. So I think even though they're big right now, they'll be a more reasonable size when they come out of the oven. So I'll go ahead and put them in there, and we'll move on to the next task. I'm going to clean up my mess here a little bit, and then we're going to make the sweet brown sugar barbecue sauce to go on top of these. I have no idea how long these take. At least 20 minutes, I have to guess. All right, fresh start, somewhat. Let's open up this rice. See how it turned out. So far, so good. Let me get a fork. Holy moly, that made a lot of rice. Oh. Taste test real quick. I don't know how I did that because I've never made rice in the slow cooker before, and I also didn't look at the instructions for how much water. I put 4 cups of rice, 6 cups of water, a stick of butter, salt and pepper, and it's perfect. Oh my goodness. To be honest, I would put more butter in it. I'm going to do that now, actually. It could use more butter, and it'll make it be less sticky, but it's good. It's cooked all the way through and everything, and there's no extra liquid at the bottom. So yes, I put a whole other stick of butter in the rice. Because I love butter. Just pushing the butter down in there, let it melt, and then I'll mix it up again in a little bit. All right, feels good to have a little bit more room. So brown sugar, barbecue, chili flakes, chopped chives. Ooh, I get to go. Oh, it's for garnish. So I wouldn't use the chives until I'm serving it. So I guess I'm not going to go cut chives out of the garden. Okay. Brown sugar, barbecue, chili flakes. That's it, really? That seems lame. What else would y'all put in your meatball sauce? What else would you put? Worcestershire? A1, like sweet and tang. Might do hot sauce instead of chili flakes, actually. Okay, got a last little bit of my Stubbs OG. Yep. So let gravity help it. Toss a little A1 in there. Just a little. Again, I'm not measuring. I'll tell you what the recipe says, but I made more meatballs than the recipe says, therefore I need more sauce. But if you were to make just the 1 serving, or whatever serving size is on this, if you were to make it, it's half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of barbecue sauce, 2 teaspoons of chili flakes, and that's it for the sauce. I want to do more than that. So, okay. We're going to try some Sticky Fingers Smokehouse. I was looking for other barbecue sauces. Oh my goodness. Like something that doesn't have the high fructose corn syrup in it. And then they substituted for this. It doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. But you know, it's got like the preservatives and the canola oil and all that stuff we should be avoiding. Anyways, so, but it's better than, I mean, Sweet Baby Ray's tastes amazing, but it's not good for you. Ah! Okay. Ooh. All right. I should probably taste test it. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sticky Fingers Smokehouse, Memphis style sweet and smoky barbecue sauce. That's where it's at. That's good. Okay. Brown sugar. What else I was going to say, or what else did I say I was going to add? Hot sauce. Got some sriracha I've had for a long time. Yeah. What else? I mean, probably get a little bit more garlic in there. Ain't no vampires sucking my blood. Too much garlic and onion. Okay. Oh, we're going to do a little bit of Worcestershire. Oop. Yeah. All right. Sriracha's spicy. Oh, sorry, the mic's right there. That hit me in the throat. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I don't know if this is enough sauce for all those balls, though, but we'll start with this. Let's see. They're cooking. Definitely not done. Okay, what's next? What's next? Okay, I think we're going to do the enchiladas and stuffed peppers next. So we're going to heat the meat back up. It's got water in it. It's been drained. You add water when you add the seasoning. We're going to add the seasoning. I got garlic in there. I'm hiding some zucchini in there. And, yep. Okay, so I made in bulk, I made a batch of the McCormick seasoning. So if you want to watch me make it, you can watch my video, taco seasoning and guacamole. And if you don't want to watch me make it, you can watch that video anyways. But we're going to do 1/3 per pound. And I have no idea how many pounds are in this container. So we're going to start with 3 of these, which would equal 1 cup. And then we'll taste test. Ooh, that was heaping. This needs more water. All right, let's assemble the lasagnas real quick while the taco meat heats up. So this box can usually make 2 of these. So let me make sure. 3, 6, 3, 6. Then there's 3 more left over. I'm probably not going to use these 3. I'll save them. I'll put them over there just in case. Okay, so I'm not a fan of ricotta, so I always make my lasagna with cottage cheese. Toss some garlic in. Okay. 2 eggs, already opened mozzarella cheese. Parmesan. Do some basil and oregano. Give it that Italian flair. Okay. Okay, so I already added ground beef to the sauce. You saw me put all the sauce in here. I hid a little bit of zucchini in here too. And it's all mixed up, and it's got a healthy dose of meat in it. I think the meatballs have a few more minutes. So let's see how fast we can get these done. All right, these are done. All right, I'm gonna drain the grease and wipe it out and then put the meatballs back in here with the sauce on top and give them a taste test. And then we'll know if we need salt in the meatloaf because these have the same amount of salt. So that'll be good. Yep, and hopefully that's enough sauce. How many meatballs does one person usually eat at one time? 4 or 5, you think? Okay, I didn't actually make enough mashed potatoes to do what I wanted to do. I got 3 sides of mashed potatoes, 2 for the meatloaf, 1 for meatballs. So I'm going to put all the meatballs in this small one for the freezer. And then nothing with this one. Just put it in the dishwasher. And so for dinner, probably my son, I'll give him the last little bit of mashed potatoes in here and some meatballs. And then I'll freeze the rest. So I think the amount of mashed potatoes per container that I froze with the amount that'll be left after me and my son are done today will probably be equivalent in meat inside ratios. All right, we gotta taste the taco meat and see if that was the right amount of seasoning. Taco seasoning is a little, not quite enough. Let's try this meatball. Oh my word, y'all. Yes. Yeah. This is dinner tonight for me. Yeah. Well, y'all gotta try that. I'll link it below. Oh my goodness. That is going to be something I make on a regular basis. Wow. Ooh, it's spicy too. Ooh. That's sriracha. And the brown sugar. Mmm, tasty. I gotta make room for all these, so I guess I have to take another one. Let's cook up the fajita meat now. Last I looked, fajita meat was just taco seasoning with lime. I looked at 2 different seasoning packets a while ago, and this is just how I remember it. They were very, very similar. The only significant difference that I could recall was just fajita had lime, and taco did not. So, with that being said, we're going to add the rest of this taco seasoning to the chicken and lime juice. Hopefully that's enough. It's an awful lot of chicken. And some water, and stir it up. And at the very bottom of my freezer, I found a bag of peppers and onions that are sliced, which is perfect for the fajitas. So go ahead and try to get this open. And add it in with the chicken. Well, it's really watery. I should probably strain it a little bit. All right, here's our fajita chicken and those frozen vegetables that I just added to the top to mix it in without making a mess. And while these heat up, we will start stuffing some peppers. All right. No need to get out another dish when I have one right here. You just cook the meatballs in it. So these were frozen and now they've thawed out, so they're kind of flimsy. All different shapes and sizes from the garden. Okay, so this is really simple. A little bit of cheese, taco meat. It's okay if we make a mess with it because we're just going to scoop it all out onto the plate anyways and eat it with a fork. So we can be liberal with the meat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle some lime on top of this fajita chicken. Stir it up and taste it. It still needs to simmer away the liquid at the bottom, but I can at least taste it and see if I need to add any spices while the liquid's still in there. Otherwise, I'd have to add more liquid just to stir the spices in. Kind of bland still a little. I don't know. Let me give it a little more chili powder and cumin and see what that does. Okay, now enchiladas are super duper easy. I don't like a lot of extra sauce to the point where they're soggy. I don't put sauce on the bottom and the top or anything like that. I put the sauce on at the very end, so I make them, bake them, take them out, add the sauce, and put it back in for just a little bit. That way they're firm and not soggy. And I don't like them soggy, it's just gross. So, to meal prep these for the freezer, we're not going to do the sauce, we're just going to do the insides, fold them up, and put them in the pan. So it'll be really easy. I found in my freezer some onions and peppers that were already chopped up. So I'm going to just grab a few of them, put it in the tortilla, a bit of cheese, and a bit of meat. All right, this is how I bake it, with the cheese on like this, and then I take it out, add the sauce to the top, and then put it back in for 10 minutes, and take it out, and it's good to go. It's firm, not soggy, but the sauce is all over everything, and it's the kind of texture I like. So we did beef and fajita chicken enchiladas all in one. I have a few tortillas left over, so I might do a few more in a smaller dish if I have one. I don't know if I have one. We'll see. We'll see what I do. Look at what we got so far. Thumbnail picture.
Completed tonight. Change air purifier filters. Clean downstairs bathroom. Clean hallway bathroom. No dishwasher.
That tastes pretty good. I think I want to add some honey though. Okay. No, that's okay. I think I prefer that kind of sauce over the chicken because it's very similar. Brown sugar, soy sauce over the chicken we did earlier, but I wonder if it's the sesame seed oil that makes it taste different. Not sure if I like it, and I'm not sure I'm happy I bought a whole bottle just for this. But it's good. It'll be good over rice. It'll be good. Either way. Okay, so I'm going to give this a try. The way I'm storing it, I'm going to give it a try. I'll show you. Just kidding. Second thought. Make it out this rice. Put a layer of rice at the bottom. right, cool. So Korean beef bowl over rice. I'm gonna bake it like this whenever it comes out of the freezer, or let it thaw first, put it in the freezer or oven, either way. And then I just put a little on the side for lunch or dinner one of these nights. Okay, now I'm gonna get this rice dished up into these containers. These are storage containers that are for microwaving, not for the oven. So I'll thaw them, microwave them, and we'll have them with the sweet, sticky, spicy chicken. All right, and I still have some rice left over. Actually, making 3 cups instead of 4 probably would have been better. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this rice to the fajita mixture. And then I'll add a little bit to the taco mixture. All right, we got everything done but the pesto and the taco wontons. So I will just make those another day and add it on to this video. All right, let's get that onion top pesto done. So this is Becky's recipe from Acre Homestead. And I made it last year with the onion tops from the garden because there were so many of them. And it was good. I failed to measure naturally. So I put too many walnuts in there. So I'm not going to put as many walnuts in this time. But onion top pesto is just a pesto. You can use it however you would use any other pesto. Usually when you buy pesto at the store, it's like mostly basil and some garlic and stuff like that, and olive oil and cheese. So this is going to be onion tops. These were frozen. I harvested these last fall, and I have a ton fresh in the garden, but I'm just going to go ahead and get these out of the freezer and then harvest those and put, just rotate through what I have and harvest those and put those in the freezer. So yeah. So I thawed them out mostly. And I have another bag, so I just wanted to see, because it says 6 cups of onion tops. So I'm wondering if I smash it down, is that, should I do that or not? Oh, this doesn't measure cups on this side. Let's see. 6 cups is here. I'm going to leave that liquid because the liquid will help mix. Okay, that's not quite to the 6 mark, so let me grab some of these here. Just gonna add a few. I want to make sure this can actually blend and not, if it's too full then it won't blend very well. Okay, so 3 thawed basil cubes. In Becky language, that might be not quite the same as when you buy them in the store, the little ones. So I'm just going to put 1. So I took basil, blended up, froze it in the cube trays that I have, if you've seen those before, and then popped them out after they're frozen and put them in a bag. So I have a couple that I just put out. I didn't thaw them, but they break apart really easily. So I'm just going to use 1 large cube in here. Probably the same equivalent. I don't want it to be too crazy basil-y and overpowering. Let's see. 3/4 cup Parmesan. I'm wanting to get 2 batches done, so I am going to use what I have here. Let's see. So this is all I have, and I want to get all this done. That might be right, actually. And then I'll save this for the other batch. 1/2 cup of toasted walnuts. I'm just gonna a few. 3 garlic cloves. I don't use garlic cloves. I will when I harvest mine, but for now, it's gonna be just a massive spoonful in there. Salt and pepper. Lemon juice is 1 tablespoon. And then the liquid that helps it blend is the oil. And this says, what is it? Oh, 3/4 cup. I end up having to add a lot more to get mine to be liquidy enough to blend. And it just makes for an oily pasta. And you know, that's typical with Italian meals. So this is just, when it's all blended, I'm going to put it in jars and freeze it. And then whenever I want to use it, all I got to do is boil some pasta for 5-7 minutes, however long it takes. Drain it, add it back to the pot, add this in, and when it's completely thawed, the warm pasta warms it up. You don't need to simmer it or cook it longer or anything like that. If it's blended up really well, it just goes right on top of the pasta till it's warm, and then you eat it. So it's really easy. So it's not a full meal like the shepherd's pie or the lasagna was. You got to cook the noodles and make another side if you want to, kind of like meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and a vegetable, stuff like that. So I'm going to call it a meal though, because it's the main part of the dish, like the other things we made earlier. All right, that looks just how we want it. And then my mason jars, they'll go through the dishwasher, and they'll still have that smell inside of them of whatever was in them. So I put water in a mason jar and I microwave it. It's kind of like I'm sterilizing it. And then I'm sterilizing the inside of the lid now. And the mason jar will be clean, because this is hot. This is hot to the touch. And the smell will be completely gone whenever I dump it out. So I got 2 more mason jars in the microwave. Let me go ahead and dump these out. Yep, lid's hot. So I'm hoping this will fill 2 jars. Hot. Okay. I think this would be too thick for a funnel. Might have to scoop it out instead. Well, I guess while I'm here, I might as well test it. Taste test it. Okay. Let me think. That actually needs something first. I'd say it needs salt. Maybe a little bit more lemon juice. Sometimes just a squirt of honey can take the edge off of something. Like, you don't want it to be sweet, but you just need the edge taken off. Excuse me. Okay, that was like maybe a little more than a teaspoon. All right, give it another try. I think I just figured out why it tastes different than last time. This time I'm using a really high quality olive oil, and it has that real olive oil flavor, like you can taste it. And that might be why this tastes kind of grassy. Well, I think the salt helped. Okay, that'll be fine. So we're gonna scoop it in. I think this could use more cheese in it too. I'll have to remember when I use it to put some more Parmesan or mozzarella in the pan and mix it up. And I think it'll be perfect like that. So I need to leave some headspace at the top, so because I'm going to put this in the freezer and it will expand when it's frozen. Okay. 2 done. There's a little bit left in here. I'm going to leave it in here. Oh, I forgot to thaw these. Oops. Let me get these thawed out. Okay. Tried some more honey and salt. And the blender, sadly, it's a very powerful blender, but it just can't do very much. It doesn't even feel that hot. But it stopped itself. Yeah. So it's too hot. So I will mix this up by hand. Luckily, it was able to blend these up well enough. There's still some chunks in here, so I think when I do go to use this, I will simmer it a little bit, soften it up. And then put it with the noodles. Or cook it with the noodles and just add some extra water so it doesn't dry out. Okay. Okay, so we got 4 jars here from, I would say, just a little less than 2 of Becky's recipes, which her website's scratchpantry.com, and this is her onion top pesto. And, okay, so instead of getting another jar out, I think I'm just going to stick this in the fridge with the lid on it, and this is going to be dinner tomorrow. And then I'll be able to tell you how it tasted, with the noodles on, what I thought might be missing, or, whatever. Since I have a feeling it's the olive oil I'm using. I used avocado oil last time, and it really doesn't have a flavor. So that's my guess. I will keep you posted, probably in this video, right after I tell you goodbye. So at the end of the video, I will put up some other videos for you to see, so don't forget to check those out and subscribe and like and all that stuff. I did want to talk to you about the meals that I did prep already, which you just saw, but for me it's been a few weeks actually. And I want to tell you some of my hindsight wisdom. Okay, so the sweet, sticky, spicy chicken and rice. The rice and the chicken frozen separate is how I did it this time. They froze perfectly and they reheated perfectly, so that's a win. Lasagna froze perfectly, thaw it, bake it, perfect. Shepherd's pie, the celery and carrots they were still hard after baking for an hour. So I think something I'll do different is pre-cook them so they're all soft when I'm assembling it, or just make sure I can bake the whole thing for 2 hours, but I don't want the outside to get burned. I kept the foil on it the whole time, and it still started to burn a little, not burn, but brown. So I think the best way to go is to soften the vegetables before assembling the shepherd's pie. Enchiladas, perfect. So sweet, sticky, spicy, there's like 3 meals. Lasagna was 2, shepherd's pie 3. Enchiladas, I ended up making 2. One was off camera. I had extra meat and tortillas, and I decided to cram it in a pie dish. Meatballs made 2, wonderful, with mashed potatoes, which also froze, thawed, heated up, and all that perfectly. Korean beef bowl, threw it in the oven and baked it. It was the beef over the rice. Was really, really, really good. Better than I initially thought when I tasted it. We had 1 Korean beef bowl. 2 meatloafs, 2 mashed potatoes. I've done 1 meatloaf and mashed potato. Very, very good. My son loved it. This pesto here, fajita meat. I haven't made fajitas yet, but I did use that meat to top some salads, and I filled some enchiladas with that meat as well, and it's very, very good. So I'll do fajitas with the rest of the meat sometime. And another thing that I didn't foresee was, it's a similar situation to this. All the leftover sauce we made with the lasagna, the spaghetti, spaghetti sauce with the meat in it. Well, I jarred it up and I froze it, and I had 4 meals worth of sauce. So that's another 4 meals in my mind, because that's just like this, warming up the pasta and adding the sauce, and boom, there's your meal. Just like mashed potatoes and meatloaf, you're probably gonna like make a vegetable or something. So it's not a complete meal like a shepherd's pie, but it's close. Or it could be whatever, however you want to eat it. So I was going to say we made 25 meals, but the amount in here is going to be tomorrow's dinner, and it might even be 26 meals that I could say. Plus, the fajita meat I made didn't count as a meal, I don't think. I don't know. 25, 26 meals, something for, it's already been a few weeks, maybe even a month, and we've only gone through half of it. So that's awesome, and it's all good. Everything turned out wonderful. So if any of those recipes you want to try, rest assured they will work out well being frozen and reheated. Shepherd's pie, though, keep what I said in mind. So you got to see it being made, and you get to see how it all turned out, too. So that's awesome. I'll make this for dinner tomorrow. I'll let you know, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.